there's a crazy amount of stuff going on in the fourth industrial revolution right now, so much so that when you're building a community that we're doing across the world, we're looking for passionate people who want to really engage in what is happening in the 4IR. We're trying to bring you value on a daily basis. We've got a number of shows throughout the week, from 4IR Thinking, my blogs, up to the news which we collect from around the world, right the way through to light-hearted jobs that we're bringing to the world. On top of that, we're bringing out a new show called The Disruptors, which is new innovation ideas that are going to go everywhere. And Lucy's going out into the field. And even the weekends, we're pulling out 7 magazines for you. But then we thought, with so much going on, why don't we share what is going on in the background, which is called The Backstory. In our crazy world, it all kind of makes sense. We're busy as heck, but we thought we'd enjoy that journey with you. Take a look at it, and let me tell you a little bit where it all came from. It was 15 to 16 years ago. I used to come back from overseas, and it was Saturday, it was Dad's Day, Dad and Son's Day. So we'd both set out into the mall, and we'd have this little competition going where I'd say to him, sell me on what you've achieved this week, and I'll sell you on what I've achieved this week. And whoever would win, if not both of us, would get a present. So we'd set out, we'd go over to the toy store, and we'd charge up and down, we'd get on these kind of roller bikes, we'd have fun. And if he'd won and he'd sold me, I would buy him a present. That was such a blast. And then we'd set back, and if I'd won, we'd go into the big mega department store, and I'd get a present as well. So we'd enjoy that. We'd head into the mall, this great big white building, this great big white structure, and we would have such a great day. But it's so sad now. I look back on those times, and that big toy store, Toys R Us, no longer exists. That big department store, which was once the largest employer of people, called Sears in the US, no longer exists. And even that mall is now an Amazon distribution center. The world has changed, and so many have not adapted, and so many have died. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to change dramatically to survive in the fourth industrial revolution. For me, it started way back when I was so high. My dad taught me 4 or 5 fundamentals that have stuck with me in business ever since then. Number 1, love what you do. Number 2, give it all you got. Give it 100% and go fast, fail and learn at speed. But be the best of whatever it is you do, and always deliver on your promises. But really, my story truly started when I was in my mid-late 20s. I moved over to Hong Kong, short period of time, it was crazy. I moved down to Australia, it was pretty sleepy back then. But then I did pretty well, and my company decided to move me to South Africa. I had a young family, so I rented a place, you know the kind of thing, electric fencing, burglar bars, and more laser beams than a Star Wars set. I moved in, I landed in Johannesburg, I was driving along the road, I got to my new home. And nothing in South Africa says more than home sweet home than 10-foot walls, electric fencing, burglar bars, and at least one panic button directly wired into an armed response team, which is licensed to shoot, if not to kill. And so I came back home to the UK. I scratched my head, I thought, where am I going to work? I need a certain level of earnings. I applied to a job down in London, and I should walk into a room, and who should be there with what is now regarded as one of the most incredibly successful entrepreneurs, a gentleman called James Kahn. He had a recruitment business. I came for my first interview. He said, Andrew, we've got financial services, we've got consumer packaged goods, we've got IT, come in board in terms of recruitment. I said, James, just don't put me in IT as I know nothing about it. I can probably not even switch the computer on. He said, Andrew, it'll all work out in the end. I came back down to London 4 times, and on the 4th final occasion, he said, Andrew, who have got the job, come aboard and join us on Monday morning. I said, what am I going to be doing? And he said, it'll be okay. I turned up on Monday morning, and guess what? It's IT. So I immersed myself in it. And thankfully, a lady who's now become a very good friend said, welcome to the world of SAP. I knew something about SAP. In fact, I immersed myself in SAP. I got trained up, I got to learn it all. I became an SAP consultant and started to grow a business with him. Eventually, I peeled away, and I peeled away into an entirely different field. Managed to grow a business in different locations around the world, and what I learned was to go deep and then wide. So I got involved in the oil and gas sector. It took me to incredibly interesting parts of the world. Eventually, I woke up one morning and realized I'm not creating anything and I want to get back and create something. So I jumped into the world of real estate development and resort development. It took me to fascinating parts, and what it also took me to was the consumer customer experience. I got involved in CAD, involved in building information management, in the entire product life cycle itself in terms of real estate. It was a fascinating area until one day I was out there in the Philippines having developed Four Seasons, Raffles, Fairmont, Banyan Tree, all these amazingly beautiful places around the world. I woke up and I was there on this wonderful beach developing a resort. My wife, meantime, was over in Los Angeles enjoying the palm trees and glorious blue skies, and shit happens. A family member fell ill. I had to come back. Of course, when one door closes, another opens. I came back to the UK. I looked around. There weren't many chances for resort development because of weather like that. And so I bumped into some really good guys. They said, come back into technology. Come to Birmingham. Birmingham? Okay, Birmingham. I said, yeah, the list is incredibly long of things that are going on here. It's got more canals than Venice, and apparently more trees than Paris. I haven't found the third thing yet, but I know it's out there. But what I did find is an incredible change, a massive world of change. In fact, over the last 50 years, 440 of the large enterprises in the Fortune 500 have disappeared off the face of the planet. In a world where good enough was enough, we're entering a world where good enough is dead, where everything is connected, where products are equally excellent and performance is reaching perfection, and the only thing left to improve is you. We are in a centralized position and torrent of change in a world of digitalization, mobilization, augmentation, and automation. Where everything was dumb and disconnected, we lead ourselves into intelligent and connected. Planes, trains, automobiles, ships and cities, and even our own bodies connect up these days. Quantum computing is fueling big data. IoT is fueling AI and ML. And that is leading to fueled and powerful robotics that will eventually come along and kill us all. However, the good news is that everything that can be digitalized and automated becomes an incredible value. Creativity, intuition, imagination, enthusiasm, and emotions is what will differentiate you and us in the world that lies ahead. Humanity is where true and lasting change and value is created. The future is in technology, but the bigger future is in transcending it. Innovate, disrupt, or die. And so we will follow that path. We will follow that path through growth, from the innovation countries of Scandinavia to the efficiency of mainland Europe, across to the try, fail, and learn at speed of North America. It will be fascinating to get into those locations, to grow and to draw on a recruitment business that brings people and recruiters from industry, from technology, put them together to deliver a level of intelligence and thought leadership and people into the world unlike any other. I hope you enjoy our journey. I hope you enjoy this backstory, and we will see you along the way.